In the year 1872, number 7 Savile Row, Burlington Gardens, England, is occupied by Phileas Fogg, Esquire. The regular habits of Phileas Fogg are such as to demand very little from his sole servant, James Forster, the most...
Ex-soul servant.
Beg your pardon?
I was sacked today.
What happened?
I made the mistake of bringing him his shaving water at a temperature of 84 degrees Fahrenheit instead of 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
You're joking.
No.
He's very precise.
That's not the word I'd use, but,
Hello?
excuse me, there's my replacement.
Of course, pardon me.
Sir.
Show him in.
Bonjour, monsieur.
You are a Frenchman. And your name is John?
Jean? If John pleases, Jean Passepartout.
Quite a resume. Circus rider, trapeze artist,
Tightrope walker?
gymnastics teacher, Paris Fire Brigade.
Sergeant.
Now, why did you leave France?
I wish for a quieter life, monsieur. However, I have yet to find a master's lifestyle which suits mine.
You come well recommended. Are you aware of my terms?
Oui, monsieur?
Good. Good. Have you a watch?
Oui, monsieur. A family watch, which has come down from my great-grandfather. It does not vary 5 minutes in the year. It is a perfect timepiece.
Good. Now, from this moment, 29 minutes past 11,
Oui?
you are in my service.
I do believe I have seen people at Madame Tussauds with more life than Monsieur Fogg.
Now, Mr. Passepartout, you shall find the daily schedule and everything that is required of you on the card above the clock. Mr. Fogg rises at exactly 8 in the morning, attends the Reform Club at 11:30, and retires precisely at midnight.
Tea and toast at 23 minutes past 8, shaving water at 37 minutes past 9,
86 degrees Fahrenheit.
toilet at 20 minutes before 10,
Mr. Fogg's wardrobe, trousers, coats, vests, and shoes were all numbered, indicating the day, time of year, and season they had to be laid out for wearing.
he's a real machine.
That's not the word I'd use, but yes, he is exactitude personified. Monsieur Passepartout, Godspeed.
Oh, this is just what I wanted. We shall get along magnificently, Monsieur Fogg and I.
Mr. Fogg is certainly one of the most remarkable, and indeed most remarked upon, members of the Reform Club.
Clearly he's British, although I doubt he's a Londoner.
True. I've never seen him at the stock exchange, nor any of the counting rooms in the city.
He's not on any board of directors as far as I know.
He's certainly not a manufacturer.
Nor a merchant.
But he has quite a fortune.
Without a doubt.
But how?
You know,
Well traveled.
he's quite well traveled.
I've never met a gentleman more familiar with the world in my life.
He must have traveled everywhere.
Yet I've never seen him anywhere else but here in London.
True. He's at the club every day to take his lunch and dinner.
At the same time,
In the same room.
At the same table.
alone.
Alone.
He has no wife.
Nor children.
Which can happen to even the most respectable of gentlemen.
Oh, of course.
Yet he has no friends.
No relatives?
Which I admit is quite rare.
Hmm.
I think perhaps that he...
Yes, sir.
Well, what's the latest on the bank theft?
Oh, the bank will lose the money.
On the contrary, I'm confident that we'll soon lay our hands upon the fellow. Skillful detectives have been sent to all the principal ports of the continent, and he'll be a clever fellow if he can slip through their fingers.
But do we even have the thief's description?
In the first place, he's not a thief at all.
What? Not a thief? A fellow who makes off with £55,000?
No.
Perhaps he's a barrister then.
Jolly good, jolly good.
Well done, Sullivan.
The Daily Telegraph says that he's a gentleman.
What?
According to the Daily Telegraph, their real grounds for supposing the thief does not belong to a criminal gang.
The article Mr. Fogg is referring to is on page 1 of the Daily Telegraph, 2nd of October, 1872. It states in part, and I quote, "On the day of the robbery, a distinguished, well-dressed gentleman with polished manners was seen going to and fro in the cash room where the theft took place. A description of him was easily procured and sent to every detective in the United Kingdom and Europe." End quote.
You see, there's not a chance the thief will escape.
I maintain that the chances are in favor of the thief, who is clearly a shrewd fellow.
Whist, anyone?
Certainly.
Of course.
Where can this gentleman hide? No country is safe for him.
Really?
Where could he go then?
I couldn't say. It's an awfully big world.
It was once. Cut, sir.
What do you mean by once? Has the world grown smaller?
Certainly. I agree with Mr. Fogg. The world has grown smaller, since a man can now go round it 10 times more quickly than 100 years ago. And that is why the search for the thief will be more likely to succeed.
And also why the thief can get away more easily.
Be so good as to play, Mr. Stewart.
You have a strange way, Ralph, of proving that the world has grown smaller. So, because you can go around in, say, 3 months.
80 days.
80 days?
That is true. There was an estimate made by the Daily Telegraph.
The article that Mr. Fogg and Mr. Sullivan are referring, Great Indian Peninsula Railway at last complete, appears on page 3 of the Daily Telegraph, 2nd of October, 1872. It discusses how the section between Rothal and Allahabad has finally opened, thus connecting Bombay and Calcutta by rail, making it possible for one to travel around the world by steamer and rail. The estimate made by the Daily Telegraph is thus: London to Suez by rail and steamer, 7 days. Suez to Bombay by steamer, 13 days. Bombay to Calcutta by rail, 3 days. Calcutta to Hong Kong by steamer, 13 days. Hong Kong to Yokohama by steamer, 6 days. Yokohama to San Francisco, 22 days by steamer. San Francisco to New York by rail, 7 days. And New York to London by steamer and rail, 7 days. 9 days, actually. Total, 80 days.
Yes, 80 days. In theory. But that doesn't take into account, bad weather, headwinds, shipwrecks, railway accidents, and so on.
All included.
But suppose the Hindus or Indians pull up the rails. Suppose they stop the trains, pillage the luggage vans, and scalp the passengers.
All included. 2 tramps.
Theoretically, you are right, Mr. Fogg, but practically...
Practically also, Mr. Stewart.
I should like to see you go round the world in 80 days.
I should like nothing better.
When?
Now.
Very well, Mr. Fogg. I shall wager £4,000.
Calm yourself, my dear Stewart. It's only a joke.
When I say I'll wager, my dear Ralph, I mean it.
All right. I have a deposit of 20,000 at Barings, which I will willingly risk upon it.
£20,000.
£20,000? You will surely lose that with a single unforeseen mishap.
The unforeseen does not exist.
But, Mr. Fogg, this period of 80 days is only an estimate of the minimum amount of time it can be accomplished in.
A well-estimated minimum will suffice.
But, in order to accomplish it, you must jump mathematically from the trains to the steamers, and from the steamers to the trains again.
I will jump, mathematically.
You're joking.
A true Englishman never jokes when he is talking about something so serious as a wager. I will bet £20,000 against anyone who wishes that I will make this tour of the world in 80 days or less. That is, in 1920 hours or 115,200 minutes. Do you accept?
We accept.
Except,
We accept.
Good. The train leaves for Dover at 8:55. I will take it.
This very evening.
This very evening. As today is Wednesday, the 2nd of October, and I shall be due in London in this very room of the Reform Club on Saturday, the 21st of December at 8:55 p.m. If I shall fail, the £20,000 not deposited in my name at Barings will belong to you, gentlemen. Now, here is a cheque for the amount.
$7 o'clock.
Shall we suspend the game?
So that you might make preparations for your departure.
I'm quite ready now. Diamonds are trumps. Be so good as to play, gentlemen.
And tea with one spoonful of honey at 5 minutes past 12. I believe I have it all memorized.
Passport 2.
Oh. So he could possibly be calling me. According to the card, he is not due home until midnight.
Passport 2.
But that is my name. Oui, monsieur?
I called you twice.
But it is not midnight.
I know it, I don't blame you. But we leave for Dover and Calais in 10 minutes.
Monsieur is going to leave the house.
Yes, we're going round the world
Round the world.
in 80 days, so we haven't a moment to lose.
Need to pack their trunks.
No trunks, only a carpet bag. 2 shirts and 3 pairs of stockings for me, and the same for you. We'll buy our clothes on the way. Make haste.
Monsieur, if I may, why are we going around the world in 80 days?
I'll explain later.
I think my master is a fool. And here I was looking for the quiet life.
Did you say something?
I said, I think I need a tool. I am looking for my pocket knife.
A knife won't be necessary.
Oh, you never know, monsieur. Let's see when may come in handy. Aha! Pocket knife.
Very well. Are you ready?
Oui, monsieur.
Good. Here's a copy of Bradshaw's Continental Railway Steam Transit and General Guide and a roll of Bank of England notes. Have you forgotten anything?
No, monsieur.
Good. Then we're off to Charing Cross. Double lock the front door.
Oui, monsieur.
At 5:50, Phileas Fogg and Passport 2 board the Dover train at Charing Cross, and 5 minutes later at
8:55.
The whistle sounds.
The train pulls out of the station.
and Phileas Fogg begins his journey around the world.
Oh, sacre bleu!
What is the matter?
In my hurry, I forgot
What?
to turn off the gas in my room.
Well, young man, it will burn at your expense.
Oh, mon Dieu.
News of the bed spreads through the Reform Club and soon is in every newspaper throughout England. The Times,
Madman attempts tour of the world.
the Morning Chronicle,
80-day endeavor impossible.
the Daily Telegraph.
Phileas Fogg's feat not feasible.
However, 1 week after his departure, the Chronicle runs this headline.
Gentleman bank robber may be Phileas Fogg. Excuse me, I'm a bit lost. Could you direct me to the British consulate?
Ah, yes, Mr. Fix?
Detective Fix, yes.
Ah, welcome to Suez. I'm the British consul. I received a wire last night, said you'd be arriving this morning.
Ah, yes, very good.
The wire said it was urgent, but gave no other details.
Well, I've been dispatched from England in search of the bank robber.
All the way to Suez?
Oh, yes. It is my task to narrowly watch every passenger who arrives in Suez and to follow any who seem to be suspicious characters.
I surprised Scotland Yard would send someone so far away.
Oh, one mustn't be too careful these days, Consul. And I'm proud to say that I was the first and only choice for this mission.
I see.
Has the steamer from Brindisi arrived?
Not yet.
Excellent.
I must say, Scotland Yard is certainly pulling out all the stops on this one.
Oh, with good reason.
I suppose it was a heavy robbery.
A magnificent robbery, Consul. £55,000! We don't often have such windfalls. Burglars are getting to be so stingy nowadays.
So it seems. Do you have a description of the thief?
Oh, always at the ready.
What? Well, this could be almost anyone.
Oh, to your untrained eye, perhaps, Consul, but not to mine.
But I don't see how
A man rather feels the presence of these fellows, Consul, than recognizes them. I have what you might call a sixth sense for this kind of work.
You don't say.
I do.
A sixth sense?
An acute awareness, really. A combination of all of the senses: hearing, seeing, smelling, and the other ones. I've arrested more than one of these gentlemen in my time. He won't slip through my fingers.
Huh. I wish you much success, Detective Fix.
Oh, yes. Very well, Consul.
Ah. Now, if you excuse me, I have some work to attend to at my office.
Oh, very well. Ah, she's here.
Right on schedule. Oh, excuse me. Could you point me in the direction of the English consulate? I wish to have my passport stamped.
This description in the passport is identical to that of the bank robber. Is this your passport?
No, it's my master's.
And where's your master?
He stayed on board.
But he must go to the consulate in person so as to establish his identity.
Oh, is that necessary?
Sir, it is quite indispensable.
And where is the consulate?
There on the corner of the square.
Oh, well, I will go and fetch my master, but he won't be very pleased at being disturbed.
And he won't be very pleased at being arrested. Ah, Consul! I have strong reasons for believing that my man is a passenger on board the Mongolia.
Your sixth sense?
Oh, as sharp as ever. I just spoke with the thief's servant. The thief wishes to have his passport stamped.
Why would he leave a trail that could be easily followed?
Precisely what the rascal would want you to think, Consul. I hope you will not stamp it.
His mind?
Oh, his passport.
Ah, well, why not? If the passport is genuine, I have no right to refuse.
Still, I must keep this man here until I can obtain a arrest warrant from London.
That is your problem, Mr. Fix.
Wow.
Good morning, Counsel. Would you do me the favor of stamping my passport?
Oh, yes. You are Mr. Phileas Fogg?
I am.
And this man is your servant?
Yes, a Frenchman named Passepartout.
You are from London?
Yes,
And you are going...
to Bombay.
Very good. You know that stamping your passport is not required.
I know it, sir, but I wish to prove by your stamp that I came by Suez.
Very well. Here you are.
Bonjour.
Well,
Well, he appears to be a perfectly honest gentleman.
that is not the question. Do you think, Consul, that this phlegmatic gentleman resembles, feature by feature, the thief whose description I have here?
I admit he does, but then, as you know, all descriptions...
I'll make certain of it. The servant seems less mysterious than the master. Besides, he's French and can't help talking. Excuse me for a little while, Consul. Ah, well, my friend, is your passport stamped?
Oh, it is you, monsieur. Oui, our passports are in order, merci. And now I must purchase some shirts.
Oh, I will show you an excellent shop for getting what you want.
You are very kind, monsieur. But are the shops open yet?
Yes, of course, it's 12 o'clock.
12. But my watch says it is only 10 o'clock.
Well, your watch is slow.
My watch. A family watch, monsieur, which has come down from my great-grandfather. It does not vary 5 minutes in the year. It is a perfect timepiece.
Ah, I know what has happened. You've kept London time, which is 2 hours behind that of Suez. You need to adjust your watch.
Adjust my watch. Never.
But if you don't adjust your watch, then...
It is a perfect timepiece.
Very well. So are you enjoying the sights?
Oh, no. We travel so fast I seem to be traveling in a dream.
You are in a great hurry then.
I am not, but my master is.
Where's your master going?
He is going around the world.
Around the world?
Yes, and in 80 days. He says this is on a wager, but between you and I don't believe a word of it.
No.
No, that would not be common sense. There is something else in the wind.
Ah, Mr. Fogg is a character, is he?
I should say he is. Last Friday at 8 o'clock in the evening, Mr. Fogg came home from his club, and 45 minutes later we were off.
Is he rich?
Oui, he is carrying an enormous sum in brand new banknotes with him.
Hasty departure from London, carrying a large sum of money, pretext to an eccentric bet, in a great hurry to reach foreign lands. Without a doubt, he's my man.
Zadus.
Ah,
There is one thing, though, that worries me.
yes?
My banner!
What burner?
My gas burner, which I forgot to turn off, and which, at this moment, burning at my expense. I have calculated, monsieur, that I have lost 2 shillings every 24 hours exactly.
Yes, well, that's very good for you. Here's the shop, and if you'll excuse me, I have some urgent business to attend to.
Not at all. Merci, monsieur.
Constable! I no longer have any doubt. I have got my man. He passed himself off as an eccentric who is going around the world in 80 days.
Very clever. But could you be mistaken?
I am never mistaken. Listen to me. Send a dispatch to London for a warrant of arrest to be sent instantly to Bombay. Passage on board the Mongolia and follow my rogue to India. There, on English soil, I shall arrest him politely with my warrant in one hand and the other hand on his shoulder.
Soon the Mongolia pushes forward rapidly upon the waters of the Red Sea. and instead of reaching Arden on the morning of the 15th, as it is scheduled to do so, she arrives on the evening of the 14th, a gain of 15 hours.
There she refuels, and at 6 p.m., the Mongolia sets sail for the 1,650-mile journey to Bombay, where, on English soil, I shall calmly arrest this...
Excuse-moi.
Ah!
Oh, aren't you the gentleman who so kindly helped me at Suez?
Ah, yes, hello. Yes, I quite recognize you as well. You are the servant of the strange Englishman.
Oui, monsieur?
Come fix.
Monsieur Detective Mafix, I am charmed to find you on board. Where are you headed?
Bombay, just like yourself.
Have you made this trip before?
Yes, several times. I work for the Peninsula Company, the owner of this steamer.
Then you know India.
Why, yes.
Is it a curious place?
Oh, very curious. Elephants, things of that nature. I hope you will have time to see the sights.
I hope so.
And Mr. Fogg is getting on well?
Quite well.
But I never see your master on deck.
No, he hasn't the least curiosity. But I'm very curious about India.
Perhaps there's a book about India on board the ship.
Oh, that is a wonderful idea. But until then, please tell me more.
Would you care for a drink?
Oh, really, monsieur? You are the best of good fellows.
Yes. Snakes. Lots of snakes in India.
The sea is favorable, the wind is from the northwest, and all the sails are raised. The Mongolia is due to arrive at Bombay on the 22nd. She arrives on the 20th, a gain of 2 days since leaving London.
India. The great upside-down triangle pointing south has an area of 1,400,000 square miles. In the past, travel in India was slow by the old traditional methods, foot, horseback, cart, wheelbarrow, but now fast steamboats ply on the Indus and the Ganges and a great railroad.
The Great Indian Peninsula Railway
Traverses the peninsula from Bombay to Calcutta in 3 days.
Passepartout, while I'm at the consulate, I'd like you to purchase more shirts, stockings, and a deck of playing cards. Train for Calcutta leaves at 8 o'clock. Don't be late.
Oui, monsieur. Oh, Monsieur de Takuma Fix. I was hoping I would see you again.
Yes, well, enjoy your stay here in Bombay.
Oh, I will. Of 3 hours of it. I must do some shopping and then I am going to see what I can of Bombay. Would you care to join me?
Oh, thank you. I have business to attend to.
Very well.
At Bombay Police Headquarters. Hello, I am Detective Fix from London.
Yes.
I am on the trail of a notorious thief.
Yes.
Has a warrant of arrest arrived for me?
No.
Damn. Perhaps it's possible to obtain a warrant of arrest from you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Fix.
Detective.
Detective Fix. But this matter concerns the London office, which is the only office that can legally deliver the warrant.
Yes, I suppose I must resign myself to await the arrival of the warrant. But I will not lose sight of my mysterious rogue as long as he's in Bombay.
The pagoda at Malabar Hill, erected 998 AD, is located next to the Tower of Silence. It is a sacred Parsi burial ground. The Parsis, who hold earth, water, and air sacred, do not bury or cremate their dead, but leave them in the open for the vultures. Ugh, how horrible. It is not open to the public, as well as it should not be. The pagoda, however, is open to the public, and it has the mosaic is the largest mosaic in India. Beautiful. Before one set.
Lord Vishnu bless you. Huh.
Indian law strictly forbids wearing shoes in the pagoda. Oh, I am sorry, monsieur. I did not know it was against the law to wear shoes in a pagoda. And three priests. At least I think they were priests. Also, I don't think priests should behave like that, but they attacked me, and they stole my shoes, and somehow I lost my chapeau. Oh, it was such a fetching chapeau my grandmother gave me, and I also lost the shirts, and the socks, and the playing cards, and that I had purchased. Oh, wait, no. It's not the playing cards because I could not find them. Also, I did look in several stores, but... Oh, I guess that does not matter now because it is time to get on the train. I don't have any shoes or clean shirts. And, oh, I'm sorry, monsieur. It is all my fault.
I hope this won't happen again.
What luck. Thank you, Passepartout. I now have my man.
Good evening. Sir Francis Cromarty. On my way to join my troops at Benares.
Phileas Fogg, on my way around the world.
Around the world? That's quite an undertaking.
To some, perhaps.
What sort of business is taking you around the world?
A wager.
I beg your pardon.
Several members of the Reform Club don't believe it's possible to travel around the world in 80 days or less. I'm proving them wrong.
You're traveling around the world on a bet?
Yes.
Pardon me, Mr. Fogg, but that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It lacks all common sense. And are you traveling around the world shoeless on a wager?
Passepartout is my servant. He had a rather unfortunate adventure in Bombay.
Three priests
Where
attacked.
were you?
I was at the pagoda at the Malabar Hill.
You're lucky you weren't arrested. Indian law strictly forbids anyone to wear shoes in a pagoda.
I hadn't read that part yet.
And consider yourself lucky as well, Mr. Fogg. The government is very severe upon that kind of offense. It takes particular care that the religious customs of the Indians be respected. And if your servant were caught...
Very well, Sir Francis. If he had been caught, he would have been convicted, served his sentence, and would have quietly returned to Europe. I don't see how this affair could have delayed me.
Very well. At 12:30, the train stops at Burnport. And towards the evening, we enter the Sutpur Mountains, and the next morning, at clock.
4 o'clock.
No, it's 8 o'clock.
My watch says 4 o'clock.
I'm afraid your watch is slow.
My watch. A family watch, monsieur. We just come down from my great-grandfather. Slow. It does not vary 5 minutes in the year.
Have you adjusted your watch since leaving London?
It is a perfect timepiece.
I don't doubt that. But since you're constantly moving eastward, the days are getting shorter by 4 minutes for each degree gone over. Therefore, you'll need to adjust your watch.
Not adjust my great-grandfather's watch.
Very well. The next day at 8 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
The train rushes through a glade some 15 miles beyond Rathal. It's 8 o'clock.
I heard that.
Ah, we're speeding along now.
It says that India is very dangerous. Is that true?
Not all of India's dangerous.
Oh, that is a relief.
The area we're passing through now, however, is extremely dangerous.
It is?
Oh yes, thanks to Faringi, the king of the Stranglers.
King of the Stranglers.
Yes, he and his men, in honor of the goddess of death, strangle victims of all ages. This area can scarcely be traveled over without corpses being found in every direction.
How horrible.
Yes,
I hope we get out of here soon.
don't worry. This locomotive is guided by an English engineer and fed with English coal. We'll be in Calcutta before you know it.
Passengers will get out here.
What is the meaning of this?
The train isn't going on.
What do you mean?
I mean to say that the railway isn't finished.
Not finished?
No, it's still a matter of 50 miles to be laid. Passengers must provide their own transportation to Allahabad, where the line begins again.
But the papers announced the opening of the completed railway.
The papers were mistaken.
Sorry.
Mr. Fogg, this is a delay greatly to your disadvantage.
No, it was foreseen.
What? You knew that the way
Not
to,
at
to
all,
Calcutta.
but I knew that some obstacles would sooner or later arise upon my route. Nothing, therefore, is lost. We will simply look about for some other means of conveyance to Allahabad. I have 2 days to sacrifice. The steamer leaves Calcutta for Hong Kong at noon on the 25th. As today is the 22nd, we shall reach Calcutta in time.
That's the village from end to end.
Nothing.
I shall have to go afoot.
Monsieur, I think I have found an elephant.
Yes.
It belongs to an Indian who lives but 100 steps from here.
Let us go and see this elephant. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We'd like to have a look at your elephant.
Very good. Very good. Please, this way. I'm training him for war. Good money. CUNY.
How horrible.
I'd like to hire him.
Are you starting a war?
No.
He's not for hire.
I would give you £10 an hour.
No.
£20.
No.
£40.
CUNY is not for hire.
Then I will buy him £1,000.
No.
Mr. Fogg, I beg you, do not be rash.
I am not in the habit of being rash, Sir Francis. There is a bet of £20,000 at stake, and since the train does not yet connect to Allahabad, the elephant is absolutely necessary. £1,200. £1,500. 1,800. Passport 2. £2,000.
It is a deal.
Good. Now to find a guide.
Guide for hire, guide for hire.
That was comparatively easier.
Now 9 o'clock. We must be in Allahabad in 2 days.
Very good,
I will pay you £10 an hour.
very good.
Sir Francis, may I offer you a ride to Allahabad?
Thank you, Mr. Fogg. I suppose an extra travel won't tire CUNY.
Keep your tongue away from your teeth. You might bite it off.
Oui, monsieur. Tea?
Oh, yes, thank you.
One moment.
Hurry up, man.
I'm sorry, monsieur. It is hard to do this on the back of an elephant.
Why, he's made of iron.
A forest iron. Monsieur?
2 lumps, please. Yes, thank you.
Go on.
Have you any clotted cream?
Only preserves.
Pity.
Having gone nearly 25 miles, we halt for the night in a ruined bungalow near the pagoda of Pelagi.
What was that sound?
That is only monkeys.
Oh. Okay. And that sound?
Sounds like a panther.
A panther.
Don't worry. The more formidable beasts won't likely attack us. Well, good night.
What was that?
I don't know. Shh.
We have visitors.
I will go see.
Stranglers.
Shh.
Oh, this is definitely not the quiet life I was looking for.
Processions of Brahmins is coming to the pagoda. They are bringing us to tea. We must prevent their seeing us. Nobody move. We'll be ready to mount Cuny at a moment's notice.
What is a suti?
A sati is a human sacrifice, but a voluntary one.
This sacrifice is not a voluntary one.
How do you know that?
Everyone in Bundelkhand knows of this affair. Her name is Auda. When her husband, the old Raja, died, she was condemned to be burned alive on the pyre with him.
Horrible. I cannot watch.
Suppose we save this woman.
Save the woman, Mr. Fogg.
I have yet 12 hours to spare. I can devote them to that
Why, you are a man of heart.
when I have the time. Now, are we all agreed to save this woman?
Count me in, Mr. Fogg.
I'm a Parsi, and this woman is a Parsi. Command me as you will.
Excellent.
However, if we are caught, we will not only be tortured, but most certainly killed.
That is foreseen. Now, we must move quickly. Can you see the pagoda from here?
Yes.
Good, good. Now, here is the pagoda. Where's the pyre located?
Near the front of the pagoda.
Have they placed her on the pyre yet?
Not yet. The dead Raja is there, but they have taken her inside. They're making a final offering to Kali, the goddess of death.
Is there an entrance round back?
Yes. They've placed guards there.
How many?
40 or 50.
In the front?
The same.
We'll never be able to overpower them.
No, but we may be able to divert their attention.
What do you propose?
We send Keone and a guide here, near the front of the pagoda. Hopefully that will draw the guards from the rear of the pagoda to the front. Then you, Passepartout, and I rush in through the back entrance, grab the woman, and meet up with Keone here, and make our escape before they notice she's gone.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But where's your servant?
They are bringing her out of the pagoda.
Already?
They are taking her to the pyre.
We must do something.
They are placing her on the pyre.
Don't be a fool, man.
What is happening?
The old Rajah is not dead.
What?
What?
The dead Rajah is not dead. He is rising with the pyre with his wife in his arms.
Impossible!
The old Rajah is coming this way. We must hide. This is an evil spirit.
But it's not possible. Dead
He's
people
coming!
don't.
Passport 2?
Cutie, yeah.
Hurry, they're getting on us. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Well done.
By 10 o'clock, reach Allahabad.
Passport 2, please purchase a ticket for Outer. I'll meet you on board.
Oui, monsieur.
Young man, you have been serviceable and devoted. Here is the amount agreed upon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That is for your service, but not for your devotion. For that, I would like to give you this elephant.
Is Your Honor serious?
I am.
Your Honor is giving me a fortune.
Take him and I shall still be your debtor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All aboard, Calcutta, all aboard.
What will you do with her now, Mr. Fogg?
Perhaps she has family in Calcutta.
She has no future in India. These Brahmin fanatics are scattered throughout the country and, despite the English police, will abduct her again. She'll only be safe if she leaves India forever.
I shall reflect upon the matter.
No!
Shh, you're safe now.
I...
No need to worry. You're safe.
Here, drink some of this. Brandy, best there is.
Thank you.
I'm Phileas Fogg. This is Sir Francis, and this gentleman is my servant, Passport 2.
Thank you. I cannot thank you enough.
There is no need. All that matters is that you're safe now.
Until they find me.
They will not find you again. I will see to that.
But they...
I intend to escort you to safety. Now, have you any relatives or friends outside of India?
I have a cousin, Judge Patuka, in Hong Kong.
Very well. I shall escort you to Hong Kong.
I haven't any money.
It will be my pleasure.
Benares, Benares.
Ah, well, this is my stop. Goodbye, Mr. Fogg. You are a true gentleman, and I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you.
Sir Francis, I cannot begin to thank you for what you did for me.
Mr. Fogg is the one to thank, and this gentleman.
Oh, it was nothing.
The train leaves Benares and runs at full speed along the valley of the Ganges, in the midst of the roaring of tigers, bears, and wolves.
Oh my.
And then, on the 28th of October, at 7 in the morning,
Calcutta, end of the line, Calcutta.
although he lost 2 days rescuing Aouda, Mr. Fogg remains precisely on schedule.
The steamer for Hong Kong leaves in an hour. Perhaps we should purchase you some new shoes.
I will be happy to be out of this country.
Mr. Phileas Fogg?
I am he.
Is this man your servant?
Yes.
You are under arrest.
We are prisoners.
So you must leave me to my fate. It is on my account that you have been arrested. It is for saving me.
That is impossible. It's quite unlikely that we should be arrested for preventing a suttee. Plaintiffs would not dare come forward with such a charge. There is some mistake. In any event, I will not abandon you. I will escort you to Hong Kong.
But the steamer leaves at noon.
We shall be on board by noon.
Oh, mon Dieu.
All rise for the Honorable Judge Obadiah.
First case. Wait. This isn't my wig.
No, your worship, it's mine.
My dear Oysterpuff, how can a judge give a wise sentence in a clerk's wig? Here. Yes. There you are. And, yes. Yes. Much better. All right. First case.
Phileas Fogg.
I am he.
Passepartout.
Present. What are we accused of?
You are about to be informed. Entered on this 25th of October, 1872, a complaint of sacrilege against Phileas Fogg and his servant Passepartout, who are accused of having violated a place held consecrated by the Brahmin religion. Let the complainants come in. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, sir, and I admit it.
You admit it?
I admit it, and I wish to hear this priest admit what he is going to do at the pagoda of Pelagi.
That is true. They were going to burn a woman to death.
Burn whom? In Bombay itself?
Bombay?
Hey.
Certainly. We're not talking of the pagoda of Pelagi, but of the pagoda of Malabar Hill in Bombay.
And as proof, here are the desecrator's very shoes.
My shoes!
It's easy to understand why Phileas Fogg and Passepartout are confused. They have completely forgotten about the escapade at the pagoda in Bombay, but not Detective Fix. My keen intelligence has foreseen the advantage which Passepartout's escapade in Bombay has given me, knowing that the English authorities deal very severely with this kind of misdemeanor. I promised the priests a goodly sum in damages and put them on the next train to Calcutta. However, somehow we reached Calcutta before Mr. Fogg and his servant.
That is because Monsieur Fogg and I were delayed with the rescue of Alda.
What did you say?
Oh, nothing.
I watched the train station feverishly. At long last, Mr. Fogg and Passepartout arrived. I hastened for a policeman, and this is how the party came to be arrested and is now standing before Judge Obadiah.
These are your shoes.
Oui?
The facts are admitted then.
Admitted.
Inasmuch as the English law protects equally and sternly the religions of the Indian people, and as the man Passepartout has admitted that he violated the sacred pagoda of Malabar Hill in Bombay on the 20th of October, I condemn the said Passepartout to imprisonment for 15 days and a fine of £300.
£300?
Silence! And inasmuch as it is not proved that the act was not done by the connivance of the master with the servant, and as the master, in any case, must be held responsible for the acts of his paid servant, I condemn Phileas Fogg to a week's imprisonment and a fine of £150.
With Phileas Fogg detained in Calcutta a week, it'll be more than enough time for the warrant to arrive.
I offer bail.
What?
You have that right. Bail for each prisoner is £1,000.
I will pay it at once.
What?
The sum will be restored to you upon your release from prison. Meanwhile, you are free on bail.
At least give me my shoes back. Oh, these are pretty expensive shoes. More than £1,000 apiece. And they're not even comfortable.
It's 11 o'clock. The Rangoon leaves in an hour.
The scoundrel is off. £2,000 thrown away. He's spending money like a thief. Follow him to the ends of the earth if necessary. But at this rate, he's going. The stolen money will soon be gone.
Rangoon set sail from Calcutta at precisely 12 noon for 3,500-mile trip to Hong Kong, a 2-week journey.
Mr. Fogg,
Good evening. Is your room comfortable?
it's fine, thank you. I stepped out for some fresh air.
Have you need of anything?
You have given me more than enough, Mr. Fogg. You have given me my life.
My condolences on your husband's passing.
He was only a husband by name. I was forced to marry when my parents died.
I see. Should you need anything, please don't hesitate to ask. Good night.
You may be wondering what I've been doing all this while. I'll tell you. After leaving orders to forward the arrest warrant to Hong Kong, I managed to embark on the Rangoon at Calcutta. I'm hoping to conceal my presence to the end of the voyage. It will be difficult to explain why I'm on board without making Passport too suspicious.
Monsieur de Takuma Fix.
What? Oh, hello. Yes, hello.
Hello? What a strange coincidence that Monsieur de Takuma Fix is still on the same route as my master. I thought you were stopping at Bombay.
Yes. No, I'm stopping at Hong Kong.
Oh, something is not right. What is Monsieur de Takuma Fix up to? But how is it that I have not seen you on board since we left Calcutta?
Oh, just a trifle of mal-de-mer. I've been staying in my berth. The Gulf of Bengal does not agree with me as well as the Indian Ocean.
Oh, but of course, it is by sent by the members of the Reform Club to make sure my master really travels around the world as agreed upon. Oh, that is not right to be spying on so honorable a man as Monsieur Fogg. Gentlemen of the Reform, this shall cost you dear.
And how is Mr. Fogg?
As well and as punctual as ever. Not a day behind time.
You believe in this journey around the world, then?
Absolutely, don't you?
I don't believe a word of it.
Oh, you are a sly dog.
That's a rather disturbing expression. Has the Frenchman guessed my real purpose?
Will we be so unfortunate as to lose you at Hong Kong, or will you continue on to England with us?
Why, I don't know. Perhaps.
Are we wagers that he will leave Hong Kong at the same time we do, and on the same steamer?
Obviously, I'm suspected. Somehow or other, the Frenchman has found out that I'm a detective. Will he tell his master? What part is he playing in all of this? Is he an accomplice or not? Is the game up? I'm undecided on what course to best take. Glass of gin, Mr. Passepartout.
Willingly, Monsieur de Takuma Fix. We must at least have a friendly glass on board the Rangoon.
Such is the situation between Passepartout and Takuma Fix.
Detective Fix!
On Thursday, the 31st of October at 4:00 a.m., the Rangoon weighs anchor at Singapore.
A day ahead of schedule?
At 11:00 a.m., the Rangoon rides out to Singapore Harbor, bound for Hong Kong.
Oui.
However, on the 2nd of November, the Rangoon begins to slow down.
Pardon?
One of her engines is lost, and by the 4th of November, Phileas Fogg is 20 hours behind time.
Land is spotted at 5 a.m. the 6th of November.
But Phileas Fogg is now 24 hours behind time, and the Yokohama steamer will of course be missed.
But at 1 p.m., my master disembarks the Rangoon and learns that a steamer for Yokohama, the Carnatic, has not yet left.
What?
They have to repair one of their boilers, so your departure is postponed until 5 tomorrow morning.
Chance has once again strangely favored Phileas Fogg. If If the Carnatic had not been forced to lie over and repair her boilers, she would already have left, and Fogg would have been forced to wait a week for the next steamer to Japan. I failed at Bombay, and I have failed at Calcutta. If I fail here in Hong Kong, my reputation is lost. The arrest must be made here. The last bit of English soil Fogg will set foot. I must get to Hong Kong police headquarters. I pray the arrest warrant is there.
We have 15 hours to locate your cousin.
I'm afraid I do not know his address.
Perhaps someone... what does he do for a living?
Oh, he's a silk trader.
Perhaps someone at the exchange will have heard of him. Good afternoon. We're looking for Judge A. Patuka.
Yes, he's very wealthy, very generous, has several factories in the harbor.
Oh, and we can find him there.
No. He left town a few months ago, moved to Holland, now raises some tulips.
I see. Thank you.
Yes.
What shall I do, Mr. Fogg?
Well, it's very simple. Go on to Europe.
Oh, but I cannot intrude.
You do not intrude. Passepartout,
Monsieur?
go to the Carnatic and engage 3 cabins.
Oui, monsieur.
The warrant has not come. It is on the way, but it will not reach Hong Kong for several days.
And, this being the last English territory on Mr. Fogg's route,
Yes, we are all well aware of that fact.
it appears that the robber will escape.
Yes, we know. Will you please get out?
Unless you manage to detain him.
Go! Wait, what?
Unless you manage to detain him.
But how? Wait, I know. I'll tell Passepartout everything. Once he hears what kind of man his master really is, he'll surely become my ally.
That's a little bit risky. If Passepartout is in cahoots with Fogg, one word from him could ruin everything.
True. I shall employ that plan only if everything else has failed.
Everything else has failed.
Yes, I know. And who is this woman Fogg's traveling with? Obviously, they met somewhere between Bombay and Calcutta, but where? And how? And why? And what? No, not what. Just who, where, and why. Just those 3. Possibly how.
Perhaps you should just concentrate on Mr. Fogg. There isn't much time left.
Yes, I know. I don't know what to do.
It looks like you have to follow him to America.
Would you please leave me alone?
Because if you don't, he'll get away and everyone will think you're a big failure.
Would you get... Yes, I know. I have to follow him to America. Just get out of here.
Well, Monsieur de Tecumafix, have you decided to go with us to America?
Yes.
Good. I knew you could not persuade yourself to separate from us. Come, secure your cabin. Cabins for 4 people, s'il vous plaît.
All right, very well. The repairs on the Carnatic have been completed, and the steamer will leave this evening and not tomorrow morning, as had been announced.
Oh, that will suit my master all the better. I will go and let him know.
My dear Passepartout, why don't we have a drink first?
But I must tell Monsieur Fogg about...
Just a quick one.
Oh, well. I believe I have time for a quick one.
Brilliant. This looks like a nice tavern.
It is certainly well decorated. What is that smell?
Opium.
Oh.
In the Celestial Empire, opium is smoked everywhere, at all times, by men and women. Once accustomed to it, the victims cannot dispense with it except by suffering horrible bodily contortions and agonies. A great smoker could smoke as many as 8 pipes a day? Oh, but he dies in 5 years.
Yes. Well, 2 bottles of port, please. I want to have a serious talk with
A serious talk. Can't we talk about it tomorrow? 2 bottles pour moi, s'il vous plaît.
What I have to say concerns your master.
What is it?
You have guessed who I am.
Oui?
Then I'm going to tell you everything.
I already know everything.
So you know why I'm following Mr. Fogg then?
Oui, but go on. Go on.
Let me also say that if I'm successful, I'll receive £2,000. And if you'll help me, I'll be able to...
You?
Yes, I need you to help me keep Mr. Fogg here for 2 or 3 days.
What are you saying? Those gentlemen are not satisfied with following my master and suspecting his honor, but now they must try to put obstacles in his way?
What do you mean?
Don't play coy with me. You know very well what I mean, and they call themselves gentlemen. Shameful. You must know, Monsieur de Kumafix, that my master is an honest man, and when he makes a wager, he tries to win it fairly.
What do you think I am?
As if you didn't know, an agent of the members of the Reform Club, sent out here to delay my master's journey. But even though I found that some time ago, I have taken good care to say nothing about it to Monsieur Fogg.
Fogg knows nothing.
Nothing.
What should I do? It's evident that he's not Fogg's accomplice, as I suspected. Perhaps you will help me. I've no time to lose. Fogg must be detained at Hong Kong. I must make a clean breast of it. Listen to me. I'm not as you think, an agent of the members of the Reform Club. I am a police detective sent out here by the London office.
You, a detective. 2 more bottles of port.
I will prove it. Here is my commission.
I'm speechless.
Finally! Listen, Mr. Fogg's wager is a ruse of which you and the gentlemen of the Reform Club are dupes. On the 28th of last December, a robbery of £55,000 was committed at the Bank of England by a person whose description answers exactly to that of Mr. Phileas Fogg.
Nonsense. My master is the most honorable of men.
How can you tell? You know scarcely anything about him. He went into his service the day he went off on a foolish pretext, without trunks and carrying a large amount of banknotes. And yet you are bold enough to say that he is an honest man.
Oui, oui.
Would you like to be arrested as his accomplice?
What do you want of me?
See here. I have tracked Mr. Fogg to this place, but as of yet, I have failed to receive the arrest warrant from London. You must help me keep him here in Hong Kong.
Ah, but I will
I will share with you the £2,000 reward offered by the Bank of England.
Never, Monsieur de Kumafix.
Detective! Detective Fix!
Detective. Monsieur. Whatever. Even if what you say is true, that my master is the robber you are looking for, I have been in his service. I have seen his generosity and goodness, and I will never betray him. I come from a village where they don't eat that kind of bread.
What?
Don't even think of serving that bread because I won't eat it.
What has this to do with bread?
I would starve myself before I do.
What are you talking about?
I have no idea. What was the question?
Will you help me capture Mr. Fogg?
This. But I'm hungry. I want to order some bread.
Consider that I've said nothing. Let us drink.
Oh, yes. Let us drink.
If he tells Fogg any of this, I'm ruined. I must at all costs make sure he remains separated from his master. One hookah, please. And let us smoke opium.
Let us smoke opium.
At last. Mr. Fogg will not be informed of the Carnatic's departure. And if he is, he'll have to go on without this cursed Frenchman.
We'll check our bags aboard the Carnatic and then go look for Passepartout.
I hope nothing has happened to him.
Excuse me, weren't you a passenger on board the Rangoon?
I was, sir, but I'm afraid I haven't...
Lovely boat. Spacious.
Yes, I'm sorry, I have not the honor of
I
making...
thought I would find your servant here.
Do you know where he is, sir?
What? He's not with you?
No, we have not seen him since yesterday.
Oh my.
Could he have gone on board the Carnatic without us?
Did you intend to sail on the Carnatic?
Yes, sir.
Oh dear.
What is wrong?
I too intended to sail on the Carnatic. However, the Carnatic finished its repairs and left Hong Kong 8 hours early without any notice being given.
Oh no.
I'm afraid we're in the same boat. The same boat. Sorry. Now, we must wait a week for another steamer. And that will be enough time for the Warren to arrive. At last, fortune is shining down on me.
Well, it seems to me there are other vessels besides the Carnatic in the harbor of Hong Kong.
For 3 hours, Phileas Fogg wanders the docks, determined to charter a vessel to carry him to Yokohama.
And?
But finds all the boats either loading or unloading.
Meaning?
None are set to sail.
Yes! Fogg is mine!
But then, at 2:30,
Oh no.
is your Honour looking for a boat?
Have you a boat ready to sail?
Ah, yes, Your Honour. The Tankadere. Best in the harbour.
Or does she go fast?
Between 10 and 15 knots the hour. Is it for a sea excursion?
No, for a voyage.
A voyage?
But yes, will you agree to take me to Yokohama?
Is Your Honour joking?
But no, I've missed the Carnatic and I must get to Yokohama in 5 days at the latest to take the boat for San Francisco.
I'm sorry, but that's impossible.
Thank you.
I will offer you £100 per day and an additional reward of £200 if we reach Yokohama in time.
Are you in earnest?
Very much so.
Well, Your Honour, the Chinese seas are very unpredictable at this time of year, and Yokohama is 1,660 miles from Hong Kong. I could always use a little adventure.
When could you go?
In an hour. As soon as the provisions can be put on board and the sails put up.
It is a bargain. Here are the £200 on account. Would you care to come with us, Mr.
Detacama fix.
Mr. Deticamafix?
Thank you, sir. I was about to ask the favor.
Very well. In a half hour we shall go aboard.
But poor Passepartout.
I shall do all I can. I'll leave a description and money at the police station and the French consulate.
I never liked you.
The sails and the English flag are hoisted on 10 minutes past 3. The Tankadere bounds briskly forward over the waves.
I do not need to advise you to use all possible speed.
Trust me, sir. We're carrying all the sail the wind will let us.
Your trade, not mine, and I have every confidence in you.
Mr. Fogg, what do you suppose has happened to Passepartout?
I don't know. Strange. If he's still in Hong Kong, the authorities, I trust, will find him, and I've left enough money for his return to England. If he is indeed aboard the Carnatic, we may find him at Yokohama. It'll be easy to ascertain if he had been on board.
I hope we find him, for I shall miss him. I cannot thank you enough, Mr. Fogg. I owe you my life.
Think nothing of it.
I shall repay you, just as soon as I...
No need.
Let me at least repay you for all the clothes you have purchased for me.
It's all very well for an Englishman to make a tour of the world with a carpetbag. However, a lady should not be expected to travel under such circumstances.
It is beautiful tonight. I look up at the stars. The sails look like great white wings. I feel as if we are flying. What do you see, Mr. Fogg?
37, 43, 124, 30.
Pardon?
Well, it's the 37th day of my journey. I have 43 days to reach London, and presently we are located at 124 degrees east longitude and 30 degrees north latitude.
Is that all you see?
Yes.
Is it all mathematics to you?
Yes.
Why?
It's constant and reliable.
And saving my life. Was that simply mathematics?
It was my duty, and I had several days to spare.
Right.
Beneath her long silken lashes and the black pupils of her great clear eyes, swims as in the sacred lakes of the Himalaya, the purest reflections of celestial light. And beneath her tunic she seems to have been modeled in gold by the hand of God himself. Yes, what is it?
Your Honor, a typhoon is approaching.
Very well.
I'll need to reef the sails.
Of course. From which direction is the typhoon approaching?
From the south.
Raise the storm jib. The typhoon should carry us forward.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is happening? Is everything all right?
Yes, everything is perfectly fine. A typhoon is approaching.
A typhoon?
Yes.
That is not perfectly fine.
Is something wrong?
Everything is perfectly fine.
No, everything is not perfectly fine. A typhoon is approaching.
No need to worry. It's from the south.
Oh, it's from the south. I feel much better. What difference does that make?
It will carry us forward at a great speed.
It's going to get rough soon. I suggest you all go below.
Good suggestion.
I shall remain on deck.
Are you sure that's wise, Your Honor?
You'll need an extra pair of hands.
That I will.
I shall remain on deck as well.
No, that is not necessary. It will be much safer
It
for
is
you.
my duty, and I have many days to spare.
Oh, very well.
I wish Passepartout were here. We could use him.
Wish I was there as well, but I am on the Carnatic right now.
Yes, fine. If you don't mind, we're about to battle a typhoon here.
Well, you should be on the Carnatic. It's nice and calm here a day ahead of the storm.
Good for everyone aboard the Carnatic.
Let me remind you that if I had not been plied with alcohol and opium by a certain someone, we'd all be on board the Carnatic.
I'm sorry. Are you happy now?
No, I am not happy. I have no idea how I will get back to London. But when I do, I will settle some accounts with you, Monsieur de Tacoma Fix.
Detective Fix.
Soon, a raging storm descends upon us.
The sea strikes with fearful violence.
The wind blows the Tankader about like a feather.
Mountainous waves crash against her.
Night comes.
The storm grows more violent.
Twice the Tankadere nearly sinks.
The night is really terrible.
Day reappears.
And the tempest still rages with undiminished fury.
The boat shakes and rolls terribly. Oh no.
But keeps a speed that is close to miraculous.
The next 4 days, the storm blows Tankadere across the sea.
Oh dear.
Then, on the 13th of November,
Oh no.
The storm subsides.
Finally.
the sea grows calm.
Oh, thank God.
And as the sun breaks through the clouds, we can see off in the distance.
Yokohama.
I didn't think it was possible.
It needed to be possible.
At 10 a.m., the Tankadere enters the harbor at Yokohama. Look, it's Passport 2!
Oh no. Well, it was awfully nice traveling with you. Very exciting, but I must be off business and all.
Monsieur, monsieur.
Oh, Passport 2, you are safe!
Oui. Oh, forgive me, monsieur. It is all my fault. I knew the Carnatic was leaving that night, and I should have called and told you directly, but I stopped and had a drink, and, one drink led to two, and I tried some opium, but I will work it for free until we arrive in London, and then you can replace me.
That won't be necessary. I'm glad you're safe. Now come, the General Grant leaves in an hour.
We board the General Grant, and at 11 a.m. on the 14th of November, we set sail for the 22-day journey to San Francisco.
I, of course, am also on board the General Grant.
I am going to kill you
Wait. Let me have a word with you.
after I strangle you to death.
Wait. I want to help your master.
Aha! So you are finally convinced he is an honest man.
No, I still think he's a rascal. Wait! Shush! Don't budge. Let me speak. As long as Mr. Fogg was on English ground, it was in my interest to detain him until my warrant of arrest arrived. I did everything I could. I sent the Bombay priest after him. I got you intoxicated and separated you from him. I made him miss the Yokohama steamer. Nothing worked, which is fortunate because the arrest warrant never arrived.
Serves you right.
I suppose. Finally, in Yokohama, the arrest warrant caught up with me. But it's useless. Fogg is no longer on English soil.
He's not on any soil right now.
No. He's going back to English soil. I plan to follow him there. From now on, I will do everything I can to keep obstacles out of his way. For it is only in England that we will ascertain whether you are in the service of a criminal or an honest man. Are we friends?
Friends? No. Allies? Perhaps. But at the least sign of treason, however, I will strangle you.
Agreed. As of the 23rd of November at 9 a.m., we are allies.
That is the time my watch says as well. I told you it was a perfect timepiece. But you wouldn't hear it. Now who is right and who is wrong?
22 days later, on the 6th of December, the General Grant enters the Golden Gate Bay of San Francisco. At 7 in the morning, Mr. Fogg sets foot upon American soil.
At 11 o'clock, I purchased half a dozen 6-barreled revolvers.
Guns?
One can never be too careful in America.
True.
At 2 o'clock, outside of the English consulate,
Mr. Deteckamafix!
Detective what? Oh, Mr. Fogg!
What a pleasant surprise. I didn't think we'd see you again.
Either did I. But my business is calling me back to England, and, but you know.
We're boarding a train for New York at 6 o'clock. I would be honored if you continued your journey in our company.
Thank you. You're too kind. He's so damn polite.
December 8th, we cross the Rocky Mountains.
On December 9th, we enter the American Plains.
But on the 10th of December,
We've stopped.
Good. I can finally use, nature's water closet.
there's a water closet on board the train.
What?
Oui, oui. In the second car.
Why didn't you? I'll be right back.
He's a bit daft, but I like Mr. Deteckamafix.
Yes, he's pleasant enough.
What do you think of him, Passepartout?
Yeah, I don't really know him that well.
Why have we stopped?
I don't know. I did not see a station.
See, what is the matter?
Oui, monsieur.
I'm sorry, sir, but several of the iron wires that hold up the bridge in Medicine Bow are broken. The bridge won't bear the weight of the train. It's impossible to risk the passage.
Not gonna stay here in the snow, are we?
Colonel, we have telegraphed to Omaha for a train, but it won't reach Medicine Bow for another 6 hours.
6 hours.
Then we'll walk.
It'll take us just as long to reach Medicine Bow on foot.
But it's only a mile from here.
Yes, but it's on the other side of the river.
Can we cross it in a boat?
That's impossible. The creek is swollen from the rains. It's too rapid. We'd have to go 10 miles to the north to find a ford.
Of all the... What kind of a railroad is this? Why, I've heard of engineers leaping the trains over rivers without bridges.
Yes, I've heard those stories well, but you can't just
Then why
simply
don't you do it?
jump the train over the river?
Yeah,
But the bridge is unsafe.
that don't matter. If we get the train going at the highest speed possible, we can make it.
I don't know. I don't
At
think it-
full speed. At full speed.
If I may, I think that perhaps this idea is just, a little bit too American.
Too American?
What are you saying?
I'm saying the plan seems a bit dangerous, but I'm not the conductor, so.
Then who are you to tell us how to run our trains?
I'm not just saying I think it would be more prudent if.
Prudent?
Are you afraid?
Afraid? Moi?
He's afraid.
The Frenchman's afraid.
Very well. I will show you that a Frenchman can be just as American as you. All aboard!
Hey, I'm the conductor here. On board!
Americans. I'm glad we're only passing through this wasteland of a country.
Hey, Frenchman. Do you have a problem with Americans?
Monsieur, I
Is there a
have
problem?
This Frenchman here does not seem to like the way we do things here in America.
Excuse me, Mr.
Proctor. Colonel Proctor.
Mr. Proctor, Passepartout is my servant. If there's some trouble concerning him, I insist that you speak with me.
You're not from here either.
No, sir. I'm from London.
Looks like we got us a couple of Frenchmen here.
Picking up.
I think it would be best if we all hold on to something.
Still afraid, Frenchman?
Mr. Proctor, you have insulted my servant, and I demand an apology.
Oh, you demand it, do you?
Please, monsieur. I think it would be best
Yes,
if...
I do.
Now we are moving forward.
Well, maybe we should sell this like mint.
I would like that satisfaction.
Just name net, when, and where.
Mr. Fogg, no!
We show you when and where.
Or two, Outer, please. This affair is mine.
No, monsieur.
This affair is mine and mine alone. Sir, I'm in a great hurry to get back to Europe, and any delay whatever will be greatly to my disadvantage.
What's that to me?
I will return to America and find you as soon as I've completed the business which calls me back to England.
Really?
Monsieur, I really think it would be best to hold on to something right now.
Now, Passport 2. Will you appoint a meeting for 6 months hence?
Why not 10 years hence?
I say 6 months, and I shall be at the place of meeting promptly.
You're just stalling. Now or never.
Monsieur, the bridge is getting closer.
Are you going to New York?
No.
Chicago?
No.
Omaha?
What difference is it to you? Do you know Plum Creek?
No.
Monsieur.
Why don't we just sell it here in the car?
You forget, there is a woman present.
You can leave.
Please.
I really think that we should all hold on to something and settle this all a little later.
Either we settle this here and now, or I shoot you where you stand.
What?
Rest assured, Outer, he is merely a blusterer, and blusterers are never to be feared.
I'm a blusterer, am I?
Yes, you are.
Monsieur, the bridge!
Oh, I'll show you what a blusterer I am.
Ah, much better. We're really making good time. Ah!
Oh no! We made it! We made it!
What did I tell you?
The bridge has collapsed.
We'll build a new one. Now, I believe we have some business to finish.
Very well, but not in this car. Let's find an empty one. The Passepartout, please hand me one of the guns that you purchased.
I missed something.
Oh, so you're a Frenchman too?
No, I'm from London.
Don't you get smart with me, Frenchie, or you're next. You ready?
Yes,
Mr. Fogg?
you'll be fine. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Mr. Fogg, please reconsider.
Get out of the way, or you'll be first.
Perhaps we can just talk this over.
I'm tired of talking.
Indians.
Apache, stay here.
Quick, Passport 2, the guns! Outer, get down!
Passepartout, give me a gun.
I think that this
Give
is
me a gun. Here.
Shoot!
Pardon? Oh, well, yeah.
Have you been shot?
No.
Shoot at the Indians.
Ah, yes. Ah,
Have you been shot?
no, I'm out of bullets.
Then reload.
Oh, yes, of course.
There's about 100 of them. They've taken over the engine car.
What must we do?
We need to stop the train. We've already passed Medicine Bow. And Fort Kearney's about 4 miles ahead. If we can stop near the fort, we can get reinforcements. But beyond that, it's all Apache territory. And certain death.
It shall be stopped.
Stay here. I will go where the struggle continues and the bullets whiz over my head. I will make use of my old acrobatic experience and with amazing agility work my way under the cars, holding onto chains. I will make my way to the front of the train, and there, suspended by one hand, I will loosen the safety chains, unscrewing the yoking bar, and detach the runaway locomotive from the rest of the train.
That Frenchman's crazy.
No, just very devoted.
Well, I hope he can do what he says. We can't hold out much longer.
Will the Apache really kill us?
If he can't unhook the engine car, they will.
Oh dear.
We are slowing down.
The Frenchman's done it! And here comes the cavalry! Take that, you Apache!
Are you injured?
I do not think so.
You're bleeding.
Just a scratch. I'm fine.
Here, let me.
But how are you?
I'm fine.
Thank goodness.
Mr. Detekamafix?
Oh, I'm fine. Just slightly wounded in the foot.
Let me see.
No, I'm fine, really.
But where is Passepartout?
I don't know.
What if something
I'm
happened?
sure he's fine.
Is your servant here?
No?
Not bad then. We only lost one passenger.
Killed?
Maybe fell off the train.
Perhaps he was taken by the Apache.
It's hard to tell.
I will find him, living or dead.
Oh, Mr. Fogg.
Living, if we do not lose a moment.
But Mr. Fogg, you can't.
It is my
simply-
duty, even if I have no days to spare. Do you know the commanding officer here?
Captain Griffith.
Well, tell him I need his men to assist me in pursuit of the Apache.
I don't think we can do that. These Indians may retreat beyond the Arkansas River, and we can't leave the fort unprotected.
A life is in question, sir.
I know, but do you expect us to risk the lives of 50 men to save one?
Well, I don't know whether you can, sir, but you ought to do so.
I don't like you French coming over here and telling us how to do things.
Very well. I will go alone.
You'd go alone in pursuit of the Indians.
Would you have me leave poor Passepartout to perish, to whom everyone present owes their life? I shall go.
Wait. I'll get 30 men.
Thank you, Colonel. Colonel, tell them I'll divide $5,000 amongst them if we save Passepartout.
I will go with you.
No, if you wish to do me a favor, you will remain here with Auda.
Very well.
Should anything happen to me,
Oh, Mr. Fogg.
I will come back.
Let's wait in the station. It is now a little past noon.
The hours creep by all too slowly.
Snow is falling. Hard.
About 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What is it?
I don't know. It's the detached locomotive returning.
Hey, sorry for the inconvenience, folks. Everybody get on board. We'll just need a few minutes to couple the train.
When are you going to leave?
At once, ma'am.
But the prisoners.
I can't delay the trip any longer. We're already 3 hours behind time.
When will another train pass here from San Francisco?
Tomorrow evening, ma'am.
Tomorrow evening? But then it will be too late. We must wait.
Impossible. If you wish to go, please, get on board.
I will not go. But Mr. Tecumafix, please feel that you do not need to stay behind for my sake.
No, of course I will stay as well.
Suit yourselves. All aboard!
Several hours pass,
The weather is dismal,
which is very cold.
freezing.
Evening comes, still no sign of them. At one point, a man approaches.
No thank you.
Nightfall. Absolute silence rests on the plain.
Throughout the night, Auda wanders on the edge of the plains. What she suffers through the long hours is impossible to describe.
Thus, the night passes.
What is that?
It is Mr. Fogg! You are safe!
Yes.
But what has happened to Passepartout? Has he been hurt?
Oh,
Oh my darling, oh my darling,
fine.
oh my darling Clementine.
You
were
were
lost
and
gone
gone
forever.
forever.
Dreadful sorry,
Sorrow,
Clementine.
Clementine.
See, he's fine.
They wanted to make me a chef.
A chief.
Oh,
Ooh, the Apache?
oui.
Yes, evidently after witnessing his feat of bravery under the locomotive, they considered Passepartout an exceptional warrior and wanted to make him chief of their tribe.
I told them that I was Monsieur's servant and that we were in a great hurry to reach London.
Yes, and they were happy to let him go.
But not before we smoked the piss pipe.
A peace pipe.
Oh,
I tell you, Mr. Fogg, President Grant will be very happy you got them Apache to sign a peace treaty.
My pleasure, Colonel. I promised you men $5,000 if we rescued Passepartout. Here you are.
You are certainly a man of your word.
Now, where is the train?
Gone.
When does the next train pass here?
Not till this evening.
oh, it is all my fault.
We will never make it to New York by the 12th.
Seriously, sir, are you in great haste?
Quite seriously.
It is absolutely necessary that you be in New York on the 12th.
By 9 o'clock p.m.
I know a man who may be able to help us. Come with me. This is the gentleman who spoke to me last night. Mr. Fogg, this is
Mudge.
Mr. Mudge.
Just Mudge.
Just Mudge, never mind. Mr. Fogg, Mudge.
Well, I understand you may be able to help us.
Yes, sir. Train left without you, huh?
It was all my fault.
You in a hurry?
Very much so.
All right. Step inside.
What is it?
It's a large sled rigged like a sloop.
Yep. On the mast, I can hoist a large brigantine and a jib sail. Got on the back to guide her. During the winter, when the trains are blocked up by the snow, I can travel extremely fast from one station to another.
Well, I must reach Omaha by 1 o'clock.
It's about 200 miles as the crow flies, but the wind's blowing from the west and snow's hardened. I'm sure I can get you there in enough time to get your train. Get on board.
Well, I shall pay you a handsome reward if we make it in time.
Hoist the sails! Hoist the sails!
Hoisting the sails?
Yes.
And secure the rigging!
Securing the rigging.
Securing the rigging? The sails below! The mast bends and the lashings, like the chords of a stringed instrument, vibrate as if played by a violin bow.
The ferry seems like a vast frozen sea.
It is absolutely deserted.
Sometimes flocks of wild birds rise above the sledge, and sometimes packs of gaunt, famished prairie wolves run chasing after it.
But the sledge holds on its even course and leaves the howling packs at a safe distance behind.
At noon, we cross the Platte River. Half an hour later, the sails are lowered and the sledge gets another half-mile without its sail. It stops right in front of the train station.
Chicago, all aboard! Chicago!
We made it! We made it!
12:45.
Thank you, Mudge.
My pleasure.
The train passes rapidly across Iowa, crosses the Mississippi, and heads into Illinois. We reach Chicago the next day, the 11th of December at 4 p.m.
900 miles separate Chicago from New York. We pass at once from one train to the other, and the locomotive leaves at full speed.
As if it fully comprehends that Mr. Fogg has no time to lose. It crosses Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey like a flash.
At last, at 11:15 p.m., the 12th of December,
New York!
Excuse me, where's the China steamer berthed?
The train left 45 minutes ago.
45 minutes?
is there another steamer leaving for England?
The Perrier goes to Liverpool.
What time does she leave?
1 o'clock
We can make it.
on the 14th.
What?
Yep.
Do any boats leave before then?
Nope.
We're ruined.
Wait, monsieur! I see smoke coming from that boat!
So do I. Come. The captain of the Henrietta, please.
I am the captain.
I'm a Phileas Fogg of London.
And I'm Andrew Speedy of Brooklyn.
You're going to put to sea,
In an hour.
and you are bound for...
Bordeaux.
will you carry me and 3 other persons to Liverpool?
No.
No.
No. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm going to Bordeaux.
Money is no object?
None.
Well, I should like to speak to the owners of the Henrietta.
The ship belongs to me.
I will freight it for you.
No.
I will buy it from you.
No.
Will you carry me to Bordeaux?
No. None of you paid me $200.
What if I offered you 2,000?
I start immediately.
An hour later, the Henrietta turns the point of Sandy Hook and puts to sea.
At noon the next day, a man mounts a bridge to ascertain the vessel's position.
Captain Andrew Speedy.
It is not.
What?
It is Phileas Fogg, Esquire,
Where's Captain Speedy?
shut up in his cabin under lock and key.
But what?
What has happened is very simple.
Phileas Fogg wished to go to Liverpool, but the captain would not carry him there.
Monsieur Fogg then took passage for Bordeaux.
During the 30 hours he was on board,
He so shrewdly managed his money that the sailors and the stockers,
who were only an occasional crew,
and were not on the best terms with the captain,
went over to Mr. Fogg in a body.
and that is why Phileas Fogg is now in command instead of Captain Speedy,
Why the captain is a prisoner in his own cabin.
and why the Henrietta is directing her course towards Liverpool.
I am completely lost.
Oh, you'll figure it out. During the first days, we go along smoothly, but on the 16th of December,
Sir, since we started, we kept up hot fires in all of our furnaces. We have enough coal to go on short steam from New York to Bordeaux, but we don't have enough to go with all steam from New York to Liverpool.
Feed all the fires until the coal is exhausted.
Yes, sir.
The vessel continues to proceed at full steam, but on the 18th,
Sir, the coal will give out in a few hours.
Do not let the fires go down. Keep them up to the last. Let the valves be filled. Passepartout, would you go get Captain Speedy?
but he would be like a madman.
I know.
Oui, monsieur.
Pirates, picaroon, pickling, piddling, perilous plunderer. Oh, where are we? Where are we?
707 miles from Liverpool.
Liverpool! I'll kill her here!
I have sent for you, sir, to ask you to sell me your vessel.
No, never!
But I must burn her.
Burn the Henrietta!
Yes, at least the upper part of her. The coal has given out.
Burn my ship! A ship worth $50,000!
Here is 60,000.
She's yours. But I keep the iron hole in the engine.
Agreed.
Mr. Fogg, are you serious? $60,000!
Merely 10,000 pounds.
But still, 10,000!
Don't let this astonish you, sir. You must know that I shall lose 20,000 pounds unless I arrive in London 5 minutes before 9 on the evening of the 21st of December.
Captain Fogg, you've got something of the Yankee about you.
The vessel now belongs to me.
Certainly. Or the wood, that is.
Very well. Have the interior seats, bunks, and frames pulled down and burn them. It's necessary to have dry wood to keep the steam up to adequate.
On the next day, the 19th of December, the masts, rafts, and spars are burned.
The railings, fittings, and greater part of the deck and the top sides disappeared on the 20th. The Henrietta is now only a flat hulk.
My master is only 24 hours to reach London, and the steam is about to give out altogether.
At last, on December 21st,
Liverpool!
we made it!
Now 11:55. We have precisely 9 hours to reach the Reform Club.
And it is only a 6-hour train ride. We're going to win the bet, monsieur.
The head's on ye.
You are really Phileas Fogg?
I am.
I arrest you in the Queen's name.
I am going to kill you!
Wait, Passepartout. It's a legal warrant.
Oh, but monsieur was so close.
You will ruin him!
I am sorry. It is my duty.
Wouldn't you wait until we got to London, Monsieur Detective Fix?
Detective Fix! My name is Detective Fix! Not Dedicoma Fix! Detective Fix! Ah! I'm sorry. Come, Mr. Fogg.
Where are you taking him?
To the custom house. He'll be transferred to London tomorrow.
Tomorrow? But then it'll be too late.
Oh, it is all my fault.
It's not your fault.
But I knew it.
Come, we must get to the custom house as well.
With only 9 hours left to reach the Reform Club, the arrest looks fatal. Just a little less than 8 hours left. Seven. The train to London is a 6-hour journey. And if Mr. Fogg can somehow get out of this prison by 2:45, he might still have a chance.
Sir! Sir!
2:48.
Sir! Forgive me. Most unfortunate resemblance. Robber, arrested 3 days ago. You are free.
Oh, well, it.
I deserved that.
We haven't a moment to lose.
We reach the train station in 7 minutes.
Is there an express train leaving for London?
The last one left 35 minutes ago.
I'd like to order a special train to leave immediately.
Yes, sir. We have several rapid locomotives available. However, due to the railway arrangements, it won't be able to leave until 3:15.
Tell the engineer I shall give him a handsome reward if he gets me to London in 5.5 hours.
Yes, sir.
We leave Liverpool station at exactly 3:15. Mr. Fogg needs to make it to London by 8:45 in order to reach the Reform Club by 8:55. But as we step from the train in London,
Nine o'clock. I've lost the wager. Passepartout will need some food, and Alda will need a room set aside for at the house. Passepartout, please prepare breakfast for Alda tomorrow morning. Ask her to excuse me, for I won't be joining her. I'll be absorbed all day with putting my affairs in order. However, tomorrow evening at 20 minutes past 8, I would like to have a moment's conversation with her.
Master, it is all my
blame
fault.
no one. Go.
My master is ruined. Madame, my master is not himself. He wishes to stay in his room all day.
But why?
He says he needs to put his affairs in order.
Oh, God, you don't think he's going to...
I don't know. He will not listen to me, and I have no influence over him. But perhaps you could talk to him.
Me? What influence could I have? Mr. Fogg is influenced by no one. Has he ever understood that my gratitude to him is overflowing? Has he ever read my heart?
He wishes to speak with you this evening.
He does?
We
We shall see.
Passepartout, it's now 20 past 8. Please ask Alda if she'll see me now.
Oui, monsieur.
Mr. Fogg,
Alda, please, have a seat.
Oh, sorry.
Madam, when I made the decision to bring you to England, I was rich, and I counted on putting a portion of my fortune at your disposal. Your life would have been free and happy.
oh, Mr. Fogg,
But now I am ruined. Will you forgive me then for bringing you to England?
forgive you? It is I who must ask for forgiveness.
You?
Yes, I am the cause of your ruin.
Nonsense.
You saved my life, but in doing so have ruined your own.
Madam, you could not remain in India, and your safety can only be assured by bringing you as far as possible from those fanatics.
But you have lost everything.
Nearly. Still, I beg to place the little money I have left at your service.
I would not dream of it.
I insist.
What will become of you?
I have need of nothing, madam.
A man like you shouldn't be poor for long. Surely your friends will
I have
help
no
you.
friends, madam.
Your relatives, then.
I no longer have any relatives.
It saddens me to think that you should go through life alone, without anyone to share your joys.
Yes, well, that is how it worked out mathematically. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll make the necessary arrangements for your new accommodations. Until then, you can stay here.
Mr. Fogg, you are a man beyond compare. Honorable, generous, respectful. You need not go through life alone. I love you. Will you have me for your wife?
Yes! Yes, I love you and I'm entirely yours!
Mr. Fogg.
Passepartout!
Oui, monsieur.
Do you think it's too late to call upon Reverend Samuel Wilson of Marylebone Parish?
Never too late, monsieur.
Tell him we wish to see him tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Monday.
Oui, monsieur.
Yes, may I help you?
Yes. My master, Monsieur Phileas Fogg, wishes the Reverend to perform a wedding tomorrow.
You work for Mr. Fogg.
We
He's back in London?
we arrived yesterday, and he wishes to get married tomorrow.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either.
Did it?
He did it. Actually, I think she did it, but that doesn't matter.
Oh, the Reverend will be so happy.
I am very happy as well.
You know, the Reverend was the only one to bet for Mr. Fogg. Oh, but don't tell anyone the Reverend was betting. It'd look bad. I had the places bet in my name.
People were betting on Monsieur Fogg's wedding?
No, on whether he'd make it around the world in 80 days or not.
And the Reverend will be happy that he lost all of his money?
No, he bet for Mr. Fogg.
Yes, but Monsieur Fogg lost a wager.
But you said you arrived yesterday.
Oui?
So he won the bet.
No, we had to be back Saturday.
Yes, and you arrived on Friday.
What day is it today?
Saturday, December 21st.
Oh, excuse me.
We'll see you Monday.
Monsieur,
What's the matter?
mon master, marriage, impossible.
Impossible?
Impossible for tomorrow.
Why so?
Because tomorrow is Sunday.
Monday.
No, today is Saturday.
Saturday? Impossible.
Oui. You have made a mistake of one day. Hurry, we have only 10 minutes left.
Meanwhile, at the Reform Club.
Ah, he has lost, Ralph. He has 100 times lost.
Let's not be too hasty. He still has 5 minutes.
Honestly, Ralph, you can't possibly think that these...
His punctuality is well known.
What time did the last train arrive from Liverpool?
At 23 minutes past 7.
Huh.
And the next does not arrive until 10 minutes after 12.
Huh. Well, if Fogg has been on the 7:23 train, he would have got here by this time. We can thereby say that the bet is won.
Well, I suppose it was an absurdly foolish wager. However, we should wait until the agreed-upon time to celebrate.
Very well. I'm surprised Sullivan isn't here.
You haven't heard?
No.
Sullivan was the bank robber.
Ah,
Yes,
shame.
quite.
3 more minutes.
No thief is safe from our skillful detectives.
He's a thief now. Is he, Ralph?
I suppose he always was. When will people learn that there's no easy way to riches?
Speaking of which, you have Fogg's check?
Yes.
Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Here I am,
2.
gentlemen.
Fogg!
8:55 precisely.
I don't believe my eyes.
I believe the wager was for £20,000, gentlemen.
Yes.
No need to pay me now. Monday morning will be fine.
Thank you, Mr. Fogg. You're a gentleman.
Let's go, Ralph. We must tell Sullivan.
Aye.
Monsieur, you did it.
Yes, thanks to you.
Oh, I am not the one to think. If Madame had not proposed marriage to you, I would have never have gone to see the Reverend.
Then it is you I have to thank.
There is no need to thank me,
There are many reasons to thank you, Alda.
my dear Mr. Fogg. My dear Phileas.
My dear Alda.
But, Monsieur, I am confused as how it is we gain today.
Well, I have to admit, even I am at a loss as to how that happened.
It's quite simple, really.
Detective Fix.
Just Fix.
But,
Only for a short while.
Sorry.
Entirely my fault. Anyway, to answer your question, let me show you. By traveling eastward, you are going towards the sun, and your days, therefore, were 4 minutes shorter by each degree of longitude crossed. Now, there are 360 degrees on the circumference of the Earth. 360 degrees multiplied by 4 minutes is 1,400 and...
In other words, you gained a day when you crossed the international date line.
I don't get it.
Ah.
Well, thank you, Sir Francis.
My pleasure. But I must ask you, Mr. Fogg, what was the purpose of this wager? Money?
Certainly not. Although I won £20,000, I spent nearly 19,000.
19,000!
And with the 1,000 I've made, I'm going to give half to you, Mr. Fix, Detective Fix, just to show that there are no hard feelings.
Thank you, sir.
And the other half I'm going to give to you, Passepartout.
Oh, Monsieur.
You could use it to pay for your gas bill.
My gas bill! Oh dear, it is still burning. I will owe you a fortune.
Passepartout!
Yes?
Don't worry, I turned it off before we left. It's been off the entire time.
What? I did. Thank you, Monsieur.
So, Fogg, you've gained nothing for all of your troubles?
Nothing, you say? Nothing but a charming woman who has made me the happiest of men. Truly, I can think of no better reason to go around the world.
Jolly good, man! Jolly good!